From 2014 to 2016, Steph Curry has become a top 5 player in the NBA, arguably the best player in the NBA, winning regular season MVP 2014, 2015, leading the Golden State Warriors to a championship, and starting the 2015-2016 season with the best record ever. Now, Steph is not the most athletic player in the league today, and he's not the greatest player to ever play basketball, but he is arguably the most skilled player to ever live, and perhaps the best player in the NBA today. So what makes Steph Curry so great? We could look at his ridiculous handles, his beautiful stroke, his precision passing, and his nonsensical circus layups. However, all these skills are worth nothing when Steph Curry is injured on the bench. The truth is that Steph Curry became the greatest player in the NBA only after he stopped getting injured. Remember, it was not so long ago that Steph Curry was considered fragile, injury prone. He's had 11 or more sprained ankles in the NBA and missed most of the 2011-2012 season to ankle surgeries and ankle injuries. But he abruptly stopped getting injured, and meanwhile, as Derrick Rose has had knee problems, Kevin Durant has had foot problems, and LeBron James has begun to develop back problems, Stephen Curry has avoided injury, allowed him to play in 80 games in the 2014-2015 regular season, on his way to becoming the best player in the NBA. Now, more difficult question is, how has Steph Curry stopped getting injured? And there's many factors to this, some we can observe, some we can't observe. An inside source of the trainer says that Steph Curry stopped getting injured by improving his athleticism, specifically in the hips. Quote, "It's all in the hips." There's probably truth to that, but most of that happens in training, off the camera, behind the gym walls. So instead, I want to focus on something that we can observe, and that is how Steph Curry has changed his movement on the court, noticeably more careful, more strategic in his landings. Worth noting that most of Curry's ankle injuries happened from side-to-side cuts, but landing either on layups or on someone's foot off a three is a common injury for most people, and Steph Curry has developed a tactic, a mix of Jamal Crawford's and one landing technique and Dwayne Wade's slide landings, of getting to the floor night in and night out. If you watch any Golden State Warriors Steph Curry games, you see him all over the floor sliding. It's important to note that this is not flopping, this is sliding. This is an intentional strategy grounded in physics. The more pressure on one joint, the greater risk of injury. Since pressure in physics, pressure equals force over area. The greater area, the less pressure. If you land on all fours, you only have 1/4 the pressure on an ankle, so even if you land on someone's foot, you're not going to sprain your ankle. Similarly, the greater the force, the greater risk of injury. Force equals mass times acceleration. The longer and more exaggerated your landing, the less acceleration, the less force, the less risk of injury. So we see that Steph Curry has implemented techniques to never ever sprain his ankle landing from shooting or a layup. It's a common misconception that spraining your ankle from landing on someone's foot is either bad luck or is the defender's fault, but it is 100% your fault as the player. As you can see, if you land on all fours, there is no chance of spraining your ankle. So perhaps that is the secret to how Stephen Curry has become the best player. Remember, when you are injured and on the bench, your productivity is zero. So it is important that while everyone else is getting injured, you are healthy, you are playing every game, your skills improve, your athleticism improves. There's a lot that goes into preventing injury. A lot of it is behind closed doors, a lot of it is in training, but a lot of it is in how you move in the game. And as we can see with Steph Curry, there's certain techniques that seriously diminish the risk of injury. So that is how Steph Curry has become the greatest player in the NBA today.